December 1st, 2024. I'm with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, and we're reading his book, Their Mother's Sons, which is approximately 900 pages that Mr. Jeckovich wrote about 3 decades ago. How long did it take you to write that book, Mr. Jeckovich?
3 months.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Do you got any other books in the works?
No. I got notes, a lot of notes.
So it's right around the corner. Once you start writing, you go right to it. Do you ever have times when you look at the page and you can't get a word out?
No, I just don't have the mood. I'm not in the mood.
Okay. So Mr. Jeckovich wrote this book about 3 decades ago, and it's titled, there once again, Their Mother's Sons. It's about 900 pages, and it takes him from when he's 11 years old to his retirement ages. How long have you been retired for, Mr. Jeckovich?
I retired in 1980. Figure it out.
So you've been retired 46 years.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100 years old, never took a prescription, baby aspirin, never, ran for 8 decades, can still read the newspaper with no glasses at all, strong hand, shakes you and knocks you to the ground. Mr. Jeckovich, we call him the super soldier. He was in World War II in many battles, and his last battle was titled The Battle of the Bulge. That was Hitler's last-ditch effort to kill a lot of young Americans and scorch earth theory and destroy everything around Germany so no one else could have it. Mr. Jeckovich is a highly decorated World War II veteran. He's been shot, beat up, stabbed, bombed, still has shrapnel in his legs. Frozen, trench foot, which bothers you all the time.
This what bothers me here, yeah.
Anytime the weather drops, trench foot, frostbite, you name it, he's had it, but he takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I can't say no more. This guy, we nicknamed the super soldier. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, is yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. What's your dog tag number?
4206959.
That's the code that opens up the laptop to read some of his notes in his book. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. At that time, they nicknamed his division the Diaper Division. Why was that?
They were all 19-year-olds.
They were young kids right out of high school.
33s.
They're young kids right out of high school, and the military code was 33. That meant put the teenagers out in the front line, which they did. Because it sounds strange to say, when you're 25 and above, you just don't have the stamina as a 17, 18, or 19-year-old does. You just don't have it. You lose some of your stamina. And that's a fact, correct?
Yeah, right. Especially in the cold weather.
Especially in cold weather. And the last battle Mr. Jeckovich in was titled The Battle of the Bulge. And this was, like I said earlier, the last-ditch effort of Hitler to kill Americans in great numbers, which they did. A lot of Mr. Jeckovich's fellow military soldiers got killed during this Battle of the Bulge. Mr. Jeckovich survived, and I believe it was basically because the prayers of his mother, Anna Targus Jeckovich. She was a devout Catholic, devout Roman Catholic, and she'd pray every day, especially kneeling on her bed at saying the rosary. And I believe this is the sole reason that Mr. Jeckovich is here today, due to the prayers of his mother, Ann Targus Jeckovich. Wouldn't you say so?
All right. I agree.
It was a miracle that you see everyone around him was really maimed so bad or killed that they never really had a life again. Mr. Jeckovich still has shrapnel in his legs. If he'd go to the airport, he'd set off every alarm for metal, because how the Nazis would bomb you back then, they bombed you with dirty bombs. What do they put in these bombs?
Razor blades, wrenches, screwdrivers, anything they get a hold of.
So the Nazis would devise a bomb to blow over the young kids' heads, but in those bombs were an assortment of nasty things: razor blades, screwdrivers, old tools, anything that would hurt once the bomb goes off. And it would shatter for, how many feet would that bomb go off for?
Well, it spread probably a mile and a half.
Yeah, it spread everywhere. Mr. Jeckovich's associate, his military partner, which ran the heavy machine guns. How many people it took to run the heavy machine guns?
Well, we got a crew of 9.
Yeah, and one of those was assistant gunner to Mr. Jeckovich. His name was Donald Leap. What happened to Donald Leap?
Well, sorry, he got killed.
Donald Leap was not street smart like Mr. Jeckovich. Mr. Jeckovich was trying to watch him and say, lay low, lay low, lay low, right?
Yeah.
Did Donald Leap listen?
He didn't understand. He didn't understand.
He wasn't street smart. If you go in a battle like that, you got to be street smart. And his head got blown off, and Mr. Jeckovich had to recover. There was less of his, it's hard to believe, but his glasses were hanging off of one ear. Mr. Jeckovich recovered that in one dog tag and sent it to his mom and dad, who were in New York. An interesting story doesn't end here. Mr. Jeckovich has been retired for many decades, but about 2 or 3 blocks from Mr. Jeckovich's house in Florida, Donald Leap's younger brother was retired there, and we just found out last year, for over 20-some years, he lived next to Mr. Jeckovich, and we didn't know that. It was just, It was just something we didn't know until he passed away, and the younger brother mentioned his older brother, Donald Leap, in the obituary. But it would have been nice if we knew, but we just didn't know. We just didn't know. He was only 2 blocks from Mr. Jeckovich, and they were both retired at the same time. So, we're reading the book. We're on chapter 21, and this chapter is titled Back Upstairs in Christmas. What does that mean? Back upstairs in Christmas.
Well, we lived upstairs, a 2-story house. We lived upstairs, my mother lived downstairs, which is a good arrangement.
What do you mean by back? Back. Did you used to live in the house before?
No.
You said back upstairs. So did you used to live in 3063 Orleans Avenue?
I lived in that same house.
Yeah, and then when you went to the war, you came back.
That same house.
But your mother had a tenant upstairs named Horb, right?
Yeah, right. Well, when we got married, we ran about, and he got across the street, build a house.
Yeah, very nice man. So back upstairs, meaning you're moving into the same house, but this time upstairs, and your mother would be downstairs.
Yeah.
That was a great arrangement. That was a great arrangement. I see you got another new set of clothes today.
Huh?
I see you got a new set of clothes today.
Who got new clothes?
You get new clothes every day: socks, shoes, pants.
Oh,
you got
come
every
on.
damn new clothes. Your closet must be big as a normal person's bedroom. Mr. Jeckovich is really doing well. He loves reading this book every night, and we're having a great time doing it. I heard you had one real special visitor today.
Today?
Amber.
Amber come over,
What a
yeah.
special girl.
Well, Snipper Amber left, and she never told me she left.
Well, she was probably busy. She has she has a lot of stuff to do too.
No, it's easy. That ministry's got her tied up.
Amber's a full-time minister. She travels the world, mostly with her surfboard. There's not a surfing country that she hasn't been to. And she preaches the Bible wherever she goes. Today, for example, she was church in the morning till about noon, came to visit Mr. Jeckovich, and just left to go to another church. There's never a time that we ever seen Amber without a very worn out Bible in her hand.
Yeah.
Very good girl. Everyone is super, super proud of her. And she been surfing since 10 years old. A wonderful thing.
20 minutes.
She's been surfing since she was 10 years old. So it was nice to have her visiting you, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Very refreshing.
Oh, yeah.
Very refreshing. So, did you have any other visitors today?
No, nobody else. Nobody called. Clint didn't call. Mary didn't call.
Yeah.
No,
What's his
they
gift?
didn't even call for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, what can I tell you?
Well, we're forgotten, that's all, we're forgotten.
Yeah, well, it's the worst thing to be is forgotten. The worst thing to be is forgotten. Yeah. What came in the mail today for Mr. Jeckovich?
Well, Staff Sergeant Willis.
Staff Sergeant Willis from San Francisco, California, sent you this gift.
What's this?
Staff Sergeant Willis sent you this gift. He loves listening to you, so he sent you a little Christmas gift.
Pull it out.
Pull it out, Mr. Jeckovich. It won't bite you.
Wait a minute.
There's not a bomb in there. He's pulling out. He's so delicate. All right.
Oh, that's a nice warm jacket,
Yeah,
yeah.
believe it.
It's
Who
Army
gave me this?
Staff Sergeant Willis.
Staff Sergeant Willis, U.S. Army, retired, San Francisco, California.
Hold it up so people can look at it, John.
And I think that's nickname OD.
Yeah.
OD.
OD,
Turn it
yeah.
around so people can look at it.
Staff Sergeant
Yeah, I'm
Willis.
gonna wear that
Probably
tomorrow,
look at it
I'm gonna wear that tomorrow, yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's been cold here in Florida.
Huh?
It's been cold here in Florida. So Mr. Jeckovich will wear that tomorrow, Sergeant. Thank you very much. And we have like loads and loads of
That's
other
nice and
gifts.
warm, yeah.
We can't put
I
them
got
all,
it, John.
We can't put them all out at the same time, but thank you for your comments and thank you for all the nice gifts. And Mr.
What's
Jeckovich,
it from Staff Sergeant Wills?
Yeah, feel that. Feel
Willis.
that. Feel that. Willis.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how do you know me?
right there. You're broadcast all over the world. Every time you read, people are picking you up, and you have wonderful people that appreciate you and respect you.
Staff Sergeant Willis, so.
Yeah, beautiful guy. I talked to him the other day. He's a nice guy.
When?
I talked to him the other day. He called on the 407 number. Nice fellow. He's been retired for 16 years.
Yeah.
Living in San Francisco, California with his wife and 2 kids. So, that's good. We'll wear that tomorrow because it's going to be cold, okay?
Yeah, tomorrow, I'll wear that tomorrow, it'll be cold, yeah.
Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Did you see those pictures I sent you of the Strand and Cataract?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that brings back old memories, yeah.
Yeah. What did you do at the Strand and the Cataract?
I didn't usher there, but I did usher there, yeah.
What was that job entitled? What did you have
Well,
to do?
my job was go down there, I'll find if there was empty seats, flash by flashlight how many seats were empty, and some of them would come down.
I see. Was the movie theater that busy you would have to have an usher?
They put the ropes up on Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
Wow.
The balcony was loaded.
And the balcony was allowed to smoke it at the time, right?
Well, they allowed the smoke, but they were real critical about it.
I see. And right next to it was SS Kresge, where your mother worked.
That was across the street, yeah.
And then across the street. Okay, thank you for correcting me.
There's
And you
Montgomery
also
Ward
worked-
down there, Susan Roebucks.
And you also worked part-time at SS Kresge, correct?
I worked with Kresge's, yeah.
What'd you do there?
Stock boy.
And what other things did you do? With gum? You said something about gum.
Oh, well, I scraped the gum off the linen, so you gotta get the gum off the floor, John.
And
Scrape it off.
How'd you get the gum off the floor?
Putty knife.
Was there lots of gum on the floor?
Well, they chew the gum, they get tired, they just throw it down.
They just throw it down. Sounds like some people I know today just disregard it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
You got people
yeah.
on it. So there were slobs back then too. There
Yeah.
were slobs back then too, yeah.
This is the best time of year, I thought, when Christmas time. When I worked there, you get the feel of Christmas because I would go to the back, all the old houses there, they keep all the storage there for Christmas. Just send me over, pick the storage, then bring it over, decorate the windows and everything else.
Wow. And right down next to you, you'd be able to hear the roar of the falls, because that's a stone fall.
Yeah.
But a little bit, like maybe a couple blocks away, at that time, there was Buffalo Avenue, which at that time there, it was row after row of mansion.
Yeah.
Could you describe what these mansions
Francis
look like?
Tone lives there, all the big movie stars.
Could you describe what these mansions would look like?
Well, I worked at a couple of them. I think I worked with my father in one of them, putting the fleet cellar in. They're all mahogany. They were 20 years ahead of us. We had linoleum on the floor, they had tile. We had glazed hardwood floors and that, and tread was all shellac to that. We had just regular painted walls.
So they're all 2- and 3-story huge mansions at the end of Buffalo Avenue, where it was very close to the falls itself, right?
Well, the rapids, yeah. The rapids.
So when you were in there working for these people, did you hear the rapids roaring?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We used to have a lunch out there, had a picnic table out, bench out there.
I wonder what happened to those mansions today.
Well, they probably still live all rotted out. Well, no, they city, or whoever takes care of that park takes care of it pretty good.
Because it's so close to the falls.
Yeah.
When you were living in Niagara Falls, during the 40s and 50s, when you were a teenager, that was a very active and bustling city. What happened to it now?
Oh, we used to sit in the crib and watch the license plates coming out.
What do you
in the
mean
summertime.
watching the license plates?
All over the country. This was the winter time, summertime for the tourists.
So that was a game the kids would play, looking at the
Yeah,
different-
see how many license plates you could find.
How many different license plates you think are there now?
Probably 300.
No, but do you think it's still an active tourist place? Niagara Falls?
No.
It's all done.
That's all. Everything's all done. That Fall Street is crap now.
You'd
All
probably
those,
get
all
killed if
those,
you
all
went
those
there.
stores were there.
You'd probably get killed if you went.
Yeah, there's China Cataract there, the soda fountain, and that's all gone.
How did it go from great prosperity to be known worldwide, to be the honeymoon capital of the world, to one ghetto? How did it happen?
Racketeers,
Racketeers.
Magadino.
Didn't you work for Magadino at one time?
Well, I worked for plowed for him. Did some work in this house.
All right, tell us the story about you plowing, and then you had breakfast, spaghetti dinner.
And big apron. I come out and John had some breakfast. That was 9 o'clock in the morning. He's eating spaghetti.
And then you walked in, there was a very long table, and many guys are sitting in suits
Yeah,
and
you could smell the spaghetti in that.
And did you also notice all the religious figures everywhere?
Oh yeah.
All the Catholic figures?
Yeah.
So you came in there, he asked you to come in because you're plowing his funeral home.
Yeah.
And he asked you to come in, and there's like big table, and there's like 15 or 20 big Italian guys wearing bibs, eating spaghetti at 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Did you have a problem
What do you
with
mean?
one of the guys there?
Well, no, that was a couple of days, a week later. They were arguing, and they had a big racket. They had the business in the city tied up. That's what screwed that city up. These guys. He was yakking about this guy. This guy wasn't doing anything. He was sitting at the dinner table. This guy put the bat up and whacked him in the head.
With what?
Baseball bat.
And you were right there?
Like I was helping with the dishes and everything.
Could you imagine if you screwed up the plow job, what would have happened to you?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, Stefano Magadino, he ran the funeral home called Magadino Funeral Home, and he was the kingpin, head man of the Cosa Nostra from Toronto all the way to New York City, and he ran it out of Niagara Street in Niagara Falls, New York, out of his funeral home. And two interesting facts. He was a well-known mobster. He had everyone in the pocket, including most politicians, police. He never spent one day in jail, right?
No.
He never made it to jail.
No.
And an interesting fact, when Mr. John J. Jeckovich's grandson was being born on June 5th of 1974 on the first floor of the hospital, Stefano Magadino was 3 floors up, and he was dying. Same dates.
Yeah.
So what did you say? One coming in?
One coming in, one going out. Yeah. Yeah.
Even in death, you got a great
That was
sense
a
of-
criminal town, my God.
So
you didn't see that in Canada, Canadian Niagara Falls, Ontario. No.
So to answer my question, the town went to hell because a few criminals
They
destroyed it.
took over, yeah.
They destroyed it. So what
And
is?
the mayors were all on their pockets.
Oh yeah, he had everyone bought. So what did? In fact, I remember Our Lady of the Rosary Catholic Church, who was Monsignor
Ormsby.
Monsignor Stanley Ormsby had a beautiful property that he lived in next to the church, brick building, 2 stories, and what do you have, maids?
Mates,
Sure, of course.
chefs, and everything else.
Cooks.
Yeah.
And then if you looked at his garage, the Magnadinos always supplied him with 2 brand new black Cadillacs.
Yeah.
They were brand new, always in there. But right next to the garage, what did you see?
Next door, across the street was a nun's sleep.
Yeah.
There was a hovel. There was an old dilapidated house.
Yeah.
It wasn't painted, and sticks were
Yeah.
falling down. You opened the door, you could smell the stupid cement, and you
Yeah.
could smell the cellar.
Yeah. About 10 Roman Catholic nuns lived in this ramshackle.
Smiling all the time.
And Mr. Jeckovich would go in there, and his wife, Delphine, would bring him cake.
Well, Christmas time we bring up the big turkeys and that.
But these nuns were happy.
Oh, yeah.
They were happy.
Yeah.
They never said a cross word.
And they were fairly young, too. They were
young
95
girls.
years old. They were 40, 30,
20.
even 20s. They had 20s in there.
And so Ormsby was living basically like a king,
Yeah.
highly connected with all the mobsters.
Oh, yeah.
Highly connected. And then the nuns, which were beautiful young ladies, 20s, 30s, I don't think any of them were 40, they lived in a shack.
Yeah.
And they were, I don't know how they slept there. There wasn't enough bedrooms for all of them.
Fall Street and 13th Street.
Yeah.
11th
And then
Street.
what did it smell like when you'd go in there?
Yeah.
What did it smell like?
Smell the stupid cellar.
Yeah. Moldy.
Moldy,
But
yeah.
you didn't get a cross word out of those nuns.
And no heat, no heat.
They were happy, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a beautiful story.
Well, that's all different now. That's all changed.
Yeah.
Those houses are still there, but people, there's residents living in them now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was an interesting story, and all this came from your snow plowing business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. So getting back to the answer, it was the racketeers and the politicians they had in their pocket that basically destroyed Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
At one time, Niagara Falls was a very bustling city.
Just like across a creek,
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah, it was a very bustling city. It was known worldwide as the honeymoon capital of the world. They had many movies filmed there, even stars like Marilyn Monroe
Yeah.
would be a regular
They
there.
made movies, a lot of movies they
A
made.
lot of
over there.
movies made there. Now it's one big, ugly ghetto,
Yeah.
run into the ground, and now it's not even considered a city. It's called a village, because they left the 15,000 people there. And so, Mr. Jeckovich had another business there as a laundromat. What could you tell us about that?
Duplex, that was on 2nd Street.
Tell us.
Well, I was right in the midst of it.
Tell us.
And across the street was the fire department, and down the street was the police department. But there was no killing or robbing there. I had a big coin changer box on the wall. There was no vandalism. The people were poor in that, but they didn't
They
vandalize like they
respected
did.
your equipment.
Yeah.
You took care of the laundromat spick and span. You greeted the people very kindly, with a great respect. The doors were never locked in 18 years.
There no lights were open all the time.
What do you think, how do you think people today would treat a self-serve laundromat?
They're not open. They're unattended now.
They would destroy it?
Well, they won't be unattended anymore. They're attended now.
You think you'd have great theft today?
They what?
Today, if you open up a laundromat 2024,
No, I would never do it.
would you have great theft, breaking into machines?
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
But back then, there was no break-ins.
No.
Everything was nice. And another interesting note, this laundromat was a stone's throw from the actual falls itself. And when Mr. Jeckovich would go there to check on it after he got out of work from Kimberly Clark, he would go there and check on it, and you could hear the roar of the falls.
Yeah.
Right? You hear the roar of the falls. And those doors never locked in 18 years, did they?
No, I surround those doors were never locked. Got never vandalized. Never pulled anything out of the boxes, out of the machines or nothing.
Didn't you at one time have a surprise when you couldn't find your car?
Well, no, I had a Volkswagen. Then I parked in front of the street, in front of the store. I went in there about 10 minutes later. I said, "Where the hell's the damn car?" I looked down the street here. The cops had it moved up. The car started up with a starting motor and started out.
So the car was a manual, it was in gear, and the starting motor that starts your engine was turning the car to move, and you thought someone took it.
And I said, "What the hell? They steal the damn car?"
Did that ever happen again?
No, I didn't. No, I took the Green Hornet then after that. Yeah.
Green Hornet. But you informed your wife Delphine to be very careful with the car because it might take off on its own.
I told her, when you park in front of the house, if you're driving the other car, don't park too close to them because they might creep up on you.
Creep up on you.
Yeah.
That must have been a shock to see your car gone.
Yeah. I never realized they could do that.
Yeah, the starter motor engages when see, if the car was an automatic, that never would happen. But with your car being a manual shift, you probably left it in first, and then the power went through the starter motor, and that starter motors are very powerful. There was enough power to move it into
Well,
the
the car was light too. The car was light.
very light.
Yeah.
How, you lived in brutally cold weather. How was the heat in those Volkswagens?
You got to go 90 miles an hour to get any heat. There's no fan in there.
So if you weren't going at high speed, you didn't get any heat.
Yeah.
So if you sat at idle at the light, you're
A
freezing.
lot of times I locked the door. We'd go to someplace in the wintertime, skiing or that. I locked the door, and I didn't realize when I locked the door, I sheared the key off because it was so cold.
3 minutes.
So tell me this again. You were going. The weather was so damn cold in that area, and you put the key in there. It was so cold. The steel of the key became brittle, and it just broke.
Yeah, and I didn't realize till we came back and we decided to get the car. Could get the key. The key was locked in the thing. So there were a couple of boys over, and I said, "Can you guys start?" Oh yes, there was $25. I said, "Okay, let's go."
How'd they start it?
Yeah.
How'd they start it?
They just opened the hood, turned a couple of wires together, and he said, when you stop, don't stop the car because
shut it
you have
off.
to do it all over again.
Yeah. Those are the good days where you can hook up a couple wires or use a screwdriver and start any car. Today, you could be the best mechanic in the world. You could be the best locksmith in the world. But these modern cars, you're not starting.
No.
Unless you have that chip key programmed in, those cars aren't starting. But back then, you could cross two wires under the dash or use a screwdriver under the hood. You can start driving anything you want to. In fact, most of the 1959 Cadillacs back then, which they had 13 different models of the 59 Cadillac, and the keys were so simple. They were so simple keys that you could put a key in one 59 Cadillac and go to the next 59 and start every damn 59 Cadillac.
Yeah.
The systems, like today, everything is super high tech. Super high tech.
Yeah.
If you lose a key with one of these modern cars today, it's good luck. It's going to be a lot of expense and time to get someone to program it. It'll definitely be a tow job, I can tell you that. But back then, so simple. So those guys got you going and you never shut it off. Right?
Yeah.
How many years did you have Volkswagens for?
I had about 10 years. Well, then Sally had a black one. I had the Admiral one, or the
Did
had
they
one.
serve you well?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we went to Pittsburgh a couple of times with them. Delphine was driving then too.
What was gas then? About 19 or
18 cents a gallon.
18 cents a gallon. Wow. So you could fill up the biggest gas tank of the biggest truck you got there for under $5.
Yeah.
How much that?
And the tank was in the front.
In the front.
Yeah, the Volkswagen. Yeah.
Did your wife Delphine learn to drive on a Volkswagen Beetle?
Yeah, I took her to the golf course with open fields there. She's stripping the gears. But she never meshed the gears and broke them or anything. She wasn't used to clutching. She wasn't used to putting the clutch and doing the same thing, shifting the gears. So she got it, and then she was driving.
Grinding the gears, you mean?
Yeah.
Minutes?
17 seconds.
But she turned out to be a fine driver, right, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
She turned out to be a fine.
Well, she went to Pittsburgh a couple of times.
And that's a manual transmission.
Yeah,
Wow.
in the wintertime too.
Oh, wow. That must have been slick.